there, thank you for making it to your mat today. Today's practice will move through the whole body, but in a very gentle, easy way. We're going to just start lying down on our back. So let's make a start straight away. Just make sure you're nice and comfortable, and then starting down on your back. Just finding this position, which is also known as a constructive rest position. It's a position that allows the body to really just settle down. Feet hip distance apart, arms a little bit away from the body, palms facing up. Closing down the eyes when you're ready. And you can keep your arms a little bit away from the body, or you could rest one hand just over your heart and the other hand over your heart, or one hand on the belly and then one hand on the heart. Just choosing what feels good for you. And if you've got your hands on the body, just maybe breathing into the hands. And taking these first few moments to allow yourself to settle. Checking in with how you're feeling, where you're at today. So where's your thoughts at? How are you emotionally? How are you physically? And how are you with the whole of your being, or you might think of it as being, how are you spiritually, or just how are you with your greater intention? And when we come to the mat, we really make the space just to feel into and notice all these different aspects of ourselves. Let's bring to mind our sankalpa. Strengthening our intention each time we visit it. And then when you're ready, bring the attention back to the breathing, starting to slow down the inhale and slow down the exhale. Just releasing the arms down by your side. Opening the feet out as wide as the mat, so the outer edges of the feet are parallel with the mat. Take the arms a little bit further away so they're up closer to shoulder height, and feeling free to keep the eyes closed if that's comfortable. You can open the eyes. You can take an inhale, dropping the knees to the right, keeping the feet where they are nice and wide, and head turning to the left. And then inhale back through center, knees dropping over to the left, head turning to the right. Just a few more like this, just in your own time. Just noticing the points of contact with the body on the mat. So rolling across the back of the head, across the back of the pelvis, across the soles of the feet from one edge to the other edge. And the next time the knees drop over to the right, let's hold it here for a few breaths, allowing the legs to be heavy. Just reconnecting with that long, smooth breathing. And if you haven't got your eyes closed, just making sure you find a steady spot to let the eyes rest. And taking an inhale, bringing the legs back through center, dropping the knees to the left as the head turns to the right. Eyes closed or eyes resting somewhere still. Just noticing if you can let go of any unnecessary effort here. Releasing the jaw. Relaxing the front of the throat. Just one more full breath here. And then bringing the legs back up through center. Bringing the feet back so they're hip distance apart. Arms stay a little bit away from the body. Palms can stay facing up, and then opening up the eyes if they've been closed. We're going for a similar action where we're going to let the knees drop over to the right, but we're going to let that left leg swing out as you drop the knees and then come back through center. Feet meet parallel on the mat, and then letting the knees drop to the left, letting that right leg swing over to the left. Letting the foot trail on the ground as much as you can. So letting that leg swing, left leg swings, come back through center. Knees drop to the left, right leg swings and come back to center. So we're trying to make this action quite easy. So letting the legs drop and left leg swings, center, legs drop, swing and center. Inhale at the top, exhale as you swing. Inhale through center, exhale as you swing. We'll just go once again with the left leg and last one to the right, coming back to center. Just take a moment, recenter the hips if they've gone off, and then let's bring the knees in towards the chest, hugging the knees in, taking an inhale as you exhale, squeezing in, and then taking another inhale, exhale to release everything out into a star shape. Just gathering the body into a small ball, taking an inhale, and then exhale to release out into your star shape. And squeezing in once again, drawing the navel in, taking an inhale, and then exhale to release out into your star shape. And just last one, let's squeeze it in, inhaling, and then exhale to release. And then bending the knees up, feet flat onto the mat. Once again, I'm just going to shuffle back up my mat. And bringing the knees in towards the chest, we're going to roll over onto the right and then come up to a seated position into our Janu Shasana, but we'll be moving through it. So taking an inhale, hands can be onto the shins for a moment. As you exhale, rolling over onto the right side of the body. Use your right forearm and extend that left leg away long, reaching out through that left foot. Take an inhale, left hand slides onto that left leg, right arm comes up and over, looking up towards the ceiling as that right sitting bone grounds down. Then taking an inhale to come back upright, placing your right forearm down and just very gently rolling across the back over onto the other side. Extending that right heel away as you press down through that left forearm, coming over into your Janu Shasana, looking up towards the ceiling, taking an inhale and then exhale, coming up, left forearm down, trying to get as much of the body in contact with the mat and then rolling over onto the right side, pressing down through that right forearm, reaching that left heel away, taking that right arm up and over, taking an inhale to reach out through the right fingers and then exhale, coming up, right forearm down, rolling over onto the back, over to the left, reaching that right heel away, right hand onto the right leg. Reaching out through the left fingers, taking an inhale, and then exhale, coming down to that left forearm, just coming back to center, squeezing the knees in towards the chest, hands behind the thighs, and then rocking yourself up to a seated position or roll over onto the side to come up. Crossing the legs over and make your way into your tabletop for a moment, And then tucking the toes under, coming into your down facing dog. Taking a couple of breaths in your down facing dog, allowing the gaze to rest in between the ankles. Lengthening out through both sides of the waist. Looking towards the hands, stepping the right foot forward in between the hands and drop down to that left knee. Release the top of the left foot down. Just taking a moment here in your low lunge. You can be up on your fingertips, letting that left hip relax down. Eyes looking slightly forward. And then take an inhale. Think about extending the sternum forward, lifting through the eyes, and then exhale to draw the right hip back, drawing the navel in, flexing through the right foot as you pull back into your Ardha Hanuman, just to where you can. And then bending to the right leg again. So just moving through a few times, relax the shoulders down. Inhale to extend through the spine. Exhale, drawing the navel in as you draw the right hip back. And one more time, inhale. Sternum reaching forward, and then exhale. And let's hold our Ardha Hanuman for a couple of breaths if you can, flexing through the right foot. And if you need to walk your hands a bit further back, please feel free to do that. Trying to draw that right quadricep back. And then taking an inhale, shifting the weight back into that right foot. Tuck the back toes under. Step back into your down facing dog. Taking a breath here in your down dog. Looking towards the hands, stepping that left foot forward, come down to the right knee, release the top of the right foot down. Once again, just starting here by holding for a couple of breaths, maybe coming up onto the fingertips. Allowing that right hip to relax down towards the mat. And then take an inhale to lengthen up through the upper body, sternum reaching forward, and then exhale to draw the navel in, draw that left hip crease back, flexing the left foot towards the face. And then inhale, bending to that front leg, draw the sternum forward, lift the eyes. Exhale, draw the navel in, draw the left hip crease back. And again, inhaling. And then exhale. Let's hold it here for a couple of breaths, walking your hands a bit further back if you would like to. Draw that left quadricep up. Keep the breath going. And then bending that front leg, taking an inhale. Hands coming down, tuck the back toes under, stepping back into your down facing dog here. Just taking a breath in your down facing dog. And then coming down onto the knees, coming down onto your belly. Taking the forearms forward just so we can move into our broken wing, and we're going to hold our broken wing. So taking that right arm out to the side, elbow slightly higher than the shoulder, turning the head to look to the left, using that right hand to roll over onto the right side of the body, and maybe that left foot comes behind you, or you could just rest the knees down in front of the hips as well. Try to relax the shoulders down. A little bit of pressure through the inner edge of that right arm. Noticing if there's any way you can relax and soften. Taking one more full breath here. Staying for the exhale. And then coming back through center. Just taking a moment, turn the head to the right and let both arms come down by your side, letting the shoulder girdle just relax down. Eyes closed. Opening up the eyes, bringing the arms forward, just taking the forearms forward once again, and then taking that left arm out to the side, keeping that 90-degree angle if you can, turning the head to look to the right, using that right hand to roll yourself over onto the left side of the body. Maybe that right foot comes behind you, or bending into that front leg, placing it in front of the hips. Maybe noticing if there's any difference between the right and the left side. So often we have one side that's a little bit tighter than the other. It's our dominant side. That might get used a little bit more. Three more full breaths. Noticing if there's any way you can let go. And then on the next in-breath, let's roll back onto the belly. Turning the head to look to the left this time. Right cheek resting down, arms down by your side. Closing down the eyes. Letting the heels pull away from one another. And then let's return the head back to center, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, press yourself back into child's pose. If it's available, knees together, otherwise knees apart, coming all the way down and arms down by your side. Once again, just letting the arms relax down, palms facing up. Just decompressing through the lower back here. And then bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Come up to a seated position. Sitting over to one side. Taking the legs out. Make sure there's enough room behind you. And let's lie down onto the back. Feet just flat on the mat for a moment. Arms down by your side. Take the arms up, inhaling, hooking the thumbs. Reaching out through both sides of the waist, those lower ribs relax down. And then from here, let's lift the upper body up and over to the right. And then extending the legs out long. If it's available, also take the legs over to the right, maybe crossing that left leg over. Eyes looking slightly towards the left. Breathing into that left side body and the lower back. Just noticing if there's any space to relax that lower back down towards the mat. Keeping that left foot flexed a little bit just to give you a little bit more leverage, particularly if it's crossed over the right. Taking 2 more full breaths. And then returning back to center, releasing the legs, bring the upper body back towards the middle and bending the legs up, just recentering the body, letting that scapula flatten back down onto the mat. And then take the arms up, inhaling, hooking the thumbs once again. And then lifting the torso up, taking it to the left. And then extending the legs out long and maybe taking the legs over to the left as well. Option to cross that right foot over the left, keeping the feet flexed. And then eyes looking towards the right. And this time breathing into the right side, body, waist, into that lower back region. Just listening in for any pockets of space. Last couple of breaths here. And then let's return the head back to center, releasing the legs. Bring the torso back towards the center as well. Let's hug the knees in towards the chest. So one last time here, squeezing the inner thighs in, sides of the feet together. Inhaling, stay for the exhale, squeezing the knees in. And then when you're ready, extending the legs out long. Just moving into your Shavasana, arms a little bit away from the body. Closing down the eyes. Using anything here in Shavasana to make yourself feel more comfortable. And maybe making sure that you're warm enough. If you've got an eye pillow, you can pop an eye pillow on or a blanket over you. Once you're settled into your Shavasana, just taking a few fuller, deeper breaths, surrendering the weight of the body with each exhale. Allowing yourself to come to complete rest for the next few minutes. Please feel free to stay resting here. Otherwise, let's start to deepen into the breathing. Slowing down the inhale, feeling the belly rise. Exhaling, belly falls. Once again, inhaling, belly rise. Exhale, the belly falls. Bringing a little bit of movement to the fingers and toes. Bending one leg up at a time. Just rolling over onto the side. Taking a moment here. And then making your way up to a seated position. Allowing the hands to rest down onto the thighs or the knees when you're ready. Slightly scanning through the body, noticing if there's any residual tension, anywhere that you can soften. Maybe the hips, the jaw. Feeling into this space of transitioning between your practice and moving into wherever you're going next. Having a sense of being able to carry this state of quiet alertness into your everyday activities. Bringing the palms of the hands together into your prayer in front of the chest. Bowing the head down towards your hands. Thank you so much for practicing. Namaste.